Welcome to the Crypto Kingdom. This is London. We're excited to have you today for our live stream. We have a lot going on in terms of the price action for Bitcoin. Let's dig into the details. We have two screens to go over. Let me turn down this microphone from the audio. There we go. Just so we have one microphone. Now, we identified in the specific video that I did a quick take on, got it out to the community. And guys, we're really excited to have you as members, as subscribers. Please hit the like button as you stream into the room. We have some exciting price action on Bitcoin. Let's go through the details. Let me make sure and get this out to everybody. Hit that like button, guys. Nice to see you come in and definitely shout out in those chats. We want to see those live tonight. We're starting off a great, let's just say weekend here. So we have a little bit of weekend trading. Let's see if we can get some more volatility for this weekend. It would be really, really nice. Let me make sure that the back rooms are plugged in. If you guys are not VIP yet, I'm sure that you are already, or that you're at least base campers. We just nailed this thus far, guys, this line of resistance. If you didn't see this specific video, critical update and video, make sure your notifications are on. I just want to let you guys know, make sure those notifications are on because this is a real critical line of resistance. Let's go through the details. And guys, shout out in the chats. I want to know who's here. Let me know who I'm talking to, so it's not so lonely on this side of the microphone. Now, in terms of this specific pickup, you guys know we were live. Let's see. Let's just review the price action thus far. 39,326, pushing up towards that $40,000 mark. Okay, market is almost mixed right now, a little bit mixed. We have one up, dot recovering nicely near Atom, LRC, Loop Ring, XCAD. We have Ample, FXS, ADA. I want to shout out to Craig, new VIP member. He is hot on ADA. Looking at that chart last night was nice. In the back, Craig, nice to see you working on those charts in the back. Thanks for that ADA video. Or ADA chart, very interesting. Now, in terms of this specific, guys, make sure that you are ready and prepared to update your charts in terms of your trade view, your trade station. And we want to just make sure that you're maximized, ready to take advantage of the markets. Okay, we're hoping that Angel will be here in a little bit. We hope that. I have been chatting with him back and forth a little bit throughout the day. He wasn't feeling real great, but hopefully he is up and at him. He's our #1 contributor, and guys, he's been invested in Bitcoin since $7.79. That needs to just tell you guys that's a lot of experience in the market that you guys can glean from. Looking forward to him being here tonight. Now, in terms of this specific line, this is the most important line in Bitcoin right now. I'm not creating hyperbole. I'm not stating things that are not, I'd say, technically accurate. As you would look at this, just this level of support, you guys see this, it's really dynamic. Please, you guys know this is best viewed on a big screen TV, right? We keep the audience here kind of small on purpose. It is exclusive. That's the intended purpose of this. To the extent that you're new to the channel, we just encourage you to subscribe and join us at least in the base camp. I want to hear from the base campers how you guys have done in your trades. This level of support to support. You guys know, let me go ahead and remove these two zones here. Okay, let's just look at this level, this specific line, cross trend line. What's the definition of a cross trend line? You guys know is a support to a resistance. Okay, so in line with this, we have this level of support, level of resistance, level of attempted support, failed to move to the upside, level of resistance. Okay, down in through the continuation of this pricing behavior here, we have an attempted level of support to confirm up as support. And now, guys, we're just retesting this as resistance. We have multiple hits. If we go through the specific actual candle wicks, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have so many hits along this specific line. It is the line in Bitcoin right now. So let's dig into the details. You'll see that we had a nice trajectory up and above this specific level. You see this. Let's just zoom in, guys. Take a look at this. Just really confirming the technicals that we brought you earlier, and always trying to just really deliver you guys the top notch in terms of the TA, etc. Look at this trajectory that we got up and above this line of resistance. Look at that, guys, and just the capitulation back down and below that specific line. Buyers are going to need. They're going to need to conquer this line, and it has not been an easy line along the way. It's just so heavily respected. As we look at this, let's look back on the hourly, probably a good time frame for us to dig into this specific line of, and here we go on the hourly. You'll just see the line of support to support to support. As we kind of open it up to the candle work, you'll see just multiple hits along that line. Lines of resistance, boom, boom, here, attempted support, failed, resistance, boom, boom, boom. Here we go, a little bit of departure away from from the line, then conquered, attempt to support, failed, back in, and now into the resistance area of this. We are in the fortunate circumstance that we covered this specific hit live, this specific hit down into the 50%, that is, in terms of the macro. And you guys know on the daily how we do the just really simple, just the bare bones retracements, right? Starting from ground zero, boom, up to the top, drawing the Fibonacci up to the top, the retracement tool on the left-hand side, Fibonacci retracement, okay? Very easy, guys. Just drawing to the top of the price action, 69,000. Boom. That gives us the framework to look at that 50% retracement. Hit twice. Really, the first time it came down to pick up a lot of VIP targets. The VIP target right here, the low in the market, and we'll just we'll cover this again. That was our target below the 50 the first time. So this was a little bit aggressive of a move for anyone who just was tucked in at the 50. We had the lower target here waiting for that move, which wound up being, what was that, 35%, guys? That was a nice move. If you guys are looking to profit in the market, you've had the price action to do so. To the extent that you have been reserved, you're waiting for a more solid entry. I understand that we've been in a retracement. If you're waiting for, and that's what, for about 85, 90 days now. Let's go through the details here in terms of this. I have some good news about Angel and trading. I hope that he shows up because he has just really made an incredible entry into a coin. I want to share that with you if he's around. I will not share it if he's not around. So if we look at this in terms of that 70, let's say that. Let's just look at that. The about 109 days are we already? That's quite a bit. It has turned from, I guess we were in 80. This has been a month in this zone already. Let's just go ahead and measure this right here. Yeah, about 37 days to be exact. Time goes by when we're booking trades. Congratulations to you guys. But yeah, since this all-time high, let's just measure down. Right now we're down 43%. Okay, that's in 110 days. Wow. It was just about we were at 75 days, about 80 days, 90. I guess we pushed to 110 days in a technical retracement. We don't mind retracements. They offer a lot of value. Essentially, it's a resetting, a recalibration of the market to get ready for the next bull trajectory up. This preceding zone from the preceding high of 65,000, you guys know, was about 96 days before we got up and running. So that 110 days, we have now overshot that preceding let's say just that preceding retracement. So in terms of that, if it feels like the market's wearing on you a little bit, just want to encourage you. It's 2022. We have been through retracements before. Angel has been around for 10 years, guys, in Bitcoin. This just happens. This is part of the game. If you're not ready to book trades, if you're not ready to double down, maybe you can slowly accustom yourself to that kind of ideology, to that strategy. Always with heavy capital, heavy cash reserves available for those lower levels. That's just the VIP way to be. And we could just talk about if we were to draw something along these bottom lines here, something in the framework of a lower target. If we could get down to a lower level, always having capital available, heavy cash reserves available to schedule in and lay into targets. If we could get to any lower level, if Bitcoin, I've been saying this, if Bitcoin could give us a golden pocket hit, that 61.8 to the 65th percentile, that would be amazing. If we could get there, I'm just gonna say, if we could get there. A lot of I heard on Market Watch today, or CNBC, talking about the Ukrainian-induced, what was it? Just the value, or the kind of the drag on the market. Just an Ukrainian-induced drag on the market right now. Is it something that will last or not? I just heard that terminology. They're developing a bit of framework to discuss kind of the international military and diplomatic situation, and kind of the resource struggles and the effect on the market. So we're looking at that as well in terms of the crypto market as well. And also, of course, we're looking at the correlations with gold, with interest rates, with just the entirety of the market, NASDAQ, Dow, etc., which both have recovered quite well. But I expect more volatility in terms of those. Not financial advice, but you guys know we keep an eye on all of that. I'm a former financial advisor. Let me say, former financial professional. Okay, in terms of advisor, I actually turned down the job for a financial advisor with Morgan Stanley, Smith Barney. Turned that down. So not former financial advisor, financial analyst over hedge fund, etc., over an equity fund, etc., working across the table from Harvard. So yes, not financial advisor. In terms of that, I turned that job down. Official offer, just said, no, I don't think I'll be doing that. Some years later, I started my own hedge fund, not SEC, etc., just a private hedge fund, and was excited to have been able to do that instead of being working a sales desk. A lot of those financial advisors don't get to trade, so it's one thing I've always loved to do. So I'm excited to be able to bring you guys the technicals on that. Been studying and working with the New York Institute of Finance materials, just New York Stock Exchange. Like, what can we learn about price action in terms of the overall dynamics? It's just what we commit ourselves to. It's what we really believe is the premier. Those are the premier, I'd say, guides and authorities in the market. So you guys know New York Stock Exchange's market cap at $30 trillion plus. So to the extent that they been around since 1790 or so, they opened the New York Institute of Finance in 1922. So they understand price action, guys. They go through some of, I'd say, the majority, if not all, of the patterns that you'll see in play. It's a really interesting pattern, and not only the hit along this line of resistance, this cross-trend line of resistance, but this specific pattern. We discussed this last night. I sent out a tweet and I said, we are in technically. I want to shout out to Luke in the back. I want to shout out to Craig as well. Hope you guys are doing well. I know it's the weekend. People have, family issues to do as well. We have, let's see, better than Tesla and major tech stocks during all of this. What's going on, Northwest? Nice to hear that. Yes, it has. And if you've been trading Bitcoin, if you just hit our targets, Northwest, it's been nice, huh? It's been this specific hit along our lower target. It sounds like you trade and you're into equities. Nice to hear that, brother. Nice to hear that. I've got some funny stories about Tesla. You would laugh. I have some funny stories about Tesla. Northwest, I think I see you around here and there. Would you like to join our base camp? It's like the price of a pack of gum, brother. We would like to have you as a member of our base camp. Northwest, what's up? I mean, I feel like it's like a schoolyard or something. We need to call it like, yo, Northwest, what's up? You need to get involved in the trade group. Just hit the join button on the desktop computer. It's a pack of gum, brother. Or if you'd like to join VIP, but start off with base camp. Like, at least let us know what you're doing. It sounds like you have something to offer in the way of your trade savvy. We'd like to incorporate it into the number one group. There's a reason that Angel makes this place his home, and we would like you to make this your home as well, if that sounds like a good idea to you. So I'll say, Northwest, how about joining our base camp tonight? And I'll put that right there into the comments and into the chats, just to invite you officially, and letting you know that, yeah, we would definitely welcome you to our trade group, at least at the base camp level. And if you want to do that and then think about VIP, or if you want to just go ahead and schedule in and just say, hey, forget it, let's try this for a month. I mean, I think you could swing it, Northwest. Not sure if you're paying attention to all those equities, etc. I'm certain that you can. Let me go ahead and rewind a little bit, and I appreciate the interaction. Thank you. Let's go just rewind a little bit. Let me get back to the initial framework here that we had set up. Let me get into the kind of the specifics of the chart here that we were looking at, and let's just look at this on the lower time frame right now. We do have a specified hit right on that level of the cross trend level of resistance, support to resistance. That defines a cross trend line. You guys know a trend line. Some people will argue that trend lines are just a little bit too subjective. You can kind of draw them wherever you want, define them however you'd like. The more hits that you get along a trend line, the more enforceable it is. Okay, the more essentially encoded it is, ingrained it is to the actual, I'd say not only the pattern dynamics of the pricing behavior, but to establish that it is in terms of what the traders are going to give it a leverage or weight to. It's nice support to support, resistance to attempted support, resistance to attempted support, failure, and now at resistance. Thus far, at resistance, I have not shied away from telling you guys last night, just real close to this looking like a real bullish feature. Is it there? It's close, guys. That's why I did some additional work, and I gave the VIP in the back this specific line just to go through that. I gave them this specific line last night, before I brought it to the community, and that's one of the benefits of the VIP. I try and bring a nice chart like this every day that I can. Like one day, every day I try and bring them something that is ahead of the curve that the average person or the average subscriber would gain benefit to. So just for them to be prepared, and certainly this line has just thus far really played out well in terms of the level of resistance. I'm not happy that it's hit a resistance, but it is nonetheless very well recognized. So in terms of this, excuse me, it's not It's not as bullish as I would want it to look right now in terms of the entirety of it. I would like to see like we have a kind of a left shoulder ahead, and it would be nice to have a little bit more of a right shoulder. It's close though, isn't it? As you guys understand your TA, it's just close to an inverse head and shoulders. You guys understand the requirements for that would just be a left shoulder. Here we go on the lines, okay? We have a head formation, then a right shoulder. So it's real close to a pure technical pattern that we would want to be expressed. The right shoulder just isn't really developed well enough. So the traders are kind of waiting for us, like, well, can we get that right shoulder a little bit further down? It's just a little bit too shallow right now. Not that it's invalidated, but that is just a little bit too shallow. So in terms of sorry about the mic right there, just got a little close. In terms of the specific framework, were this to be, I'd say, respected by the market, if we can get up and through this, let's just measure up and to. You guys understand from the head to the neckline. That neckline, just real easy, guys. The neckline, just that specific space that's defined by the two pivots in between the shoulders and the head. Real easy stuff, right? So we would expect this. Were we to be able to get up and out of this. Now we have a fake out. You can just see a nice fake out along that specific neckline, attempting to really reconfirm off and shoot up and above. And we failed back into kind of a residual secondary shoulder. We've had that issue, and we discussed that a little bit in terms of kind of secondary shoulder. Without it, it's odd. If we had gone down a little bit more, it would have been more bullish. So a lot of people just want it continually to go up. It's like, well, if we had just gone up or down a little bit more earlier, then it would be a little bit more bullish, kind of contraindicated, but it is that is the notion of the market. That is what is required of us is a little bit of patience and understanding that at times that negative pricing will not be necessarily a bad thing. And Angel, brother, we are streaming, and I just hope that if you're watching that you're tuned in. We'd love to hear from you in the chats. We hope you're doing well with Eden, Rain, and Nikki, etc. And we hope you're feeling great tonight. So go ahead and tune on in if you get a chance. We are streaming live. Hope you're doing well. As we would look at this specific pattern, it's just odd because the thing that we keep noticing here is that Bitcoin just doesn't really want to give up. There's something about Bitcoin right now. It's like it just, since it hit that 50% retracement again, that second time, this was a monster hit here, that 35%. Like, this is just nice, guys. Do you want to hit a target? I know a lot of you may be going after altcoins. I'll tell you, Bitcoin is relatively predictable. It's a relatively decent pace in terms of yes, it likes to take off. It likes to spike. It likes to roll. It likes to surprise at times. But it's just something that is it's something you can trade. And once it gets going, it can surprise the best of the altcoins. In terms of the altcoins will make you kind of shop hop around. And while you're doing that, sometimes you'll miss a big move on Bitcoin. So we focus on Bitcoin, big believers in it. Probably a big reason why Angel has decided to make this his home online, etc., in terms of his trade home. And I would just invite all of you to maybe spend a little bit more time trying to hit your targets on Bitcoin, because this is just money. If you're just trying to catch the next altcoin after it takes off, or you're just hoping your altcoin will take off, Bitcoin is a nice blend of consistent price action. So I encourage you guys in 2022 to spend more time trading Bitcoin. Just really do. You can see as we consolidate this a little bit on the secondary hit in that 50% first hit here, okay, in and around that, what do we got here? January 22nd up to January 23rd, 24th, that area here. Into this secondary hit, you can see if I remove this from this formation here and just kind of allow this, if I expand this outline of the inverse head and shoulders, you can just see that the framework of it just isn't really ideal. Does it invalidate it? I wouldn't say that it's invalidated. It's just not ideal. It definitely has presented some defects in the market. So an ideal head and shoulders, you guys know, just real basic stuff, guys. A real ideal head and shoulders will have just to cover the basics, we'll have some symmetry here on the left shoulder, the right shoulder. Just the expectations. It's the existence of the markets, of the traders in the market to express this. And it's just something that if you get down to the calculations involved behind it, I don't, but they have. It's just there's a reason for the symmetry, the need for the symmetry. It's just a balanced pattern that's more predictable, and it's more easily recognizable by the market overall, by the traders in the market overall. So That's what gives it that higher level of expectation that we would look at, that we would be able to gauge our own involvement in the trade in terms of, well, if we had a perfect inverse head and shoulders, we would expect that the overall market would participate more in it. Might be something that would gain more of your investment dollars and more of the overall market investment dollars. So, right, the better the pattern conformance, the more likely it is to garner real trade, larger trades and more recognition from the market. So, still looking at this a touch is just right. It's light on the right shoulder. So I'll probably tuck this down here for a bit. We'll talk about the bearish pattern that it did, that it has beaten. Bitcoin has beaten already. The buyers have beaten. We faked out once up above here. The question will remain, I'll just bring this up tonight. The question will remain as to whether or not this was the expanding wedge with kind of a throw over event, which is required. That's part of the standard framework of the expanding wedge, and whether or not that was the entirety of this move. I spent a little time earlier tonight, just a little bit of time with the VIP, talking about, like, if we were to remove this specific jaunt down, what would the framework look like in terms of just remove the situation with Ukraine, etc., the war announcement or declaration activity by Russia or Ukraine, however you want to frame it. If we were to remove this specific event, what would we be looking at? Okay, so this is a difficult pattern because it is, to the extent that you would want to say, well, this is just pushed here, and now we still have the framework here. It becomes a difficult wedge to really get into and to really, I'd say, identify and to really quantify in terms of the risk or opportunity, additional risk or opportunity patterning or forecast that it provides you. Because if it's just kind of pushed and pushed along the same line of support, then it becomes more difficult. It's like, has that pattern completed or not? So I've framed this up a little bit in terms of maybe the expectations, backtracked it a bit to try and set it just away from the current market activity to see, what might we be looking at right now. Okay, and I brought this up to the to VIP just in a brief post, and I'll discuss it in case you guys in the back of VIP didn't get a chance to really look at it. Is there any kind of the one thing that jumped out to me, and you guys let me know if this is something that jumped out to you, but would be this flat top here. Boom, boom, boom. Do you guys see this specific line right in here? And let me go ahead and bolden this up so we can see exactly what I'm talking about. Let me just go through this right here. Here we go. As we talk about this specific hit here, let's just do this, the specific hit in this area, what we're looking for on any kind of an ascending triangle is a flat top. So when I see 1, 2, 3 hits on, let's say, the 5-minute chart that are really closely aligned, I start thinking, okay, there's probably an ascending triangle in there somewhere. And I did this diagnostic and just gave the VIP a quick chart because it really would have been nice if we had just been able to put together this specific pattern formulation here. In terms of a reversal pattern, would have been a very nice ascending triangle. Were we to exclude the portion, this area in here with the pour down, with kind of the unexpected market event, not necessarily a malfeasance or any kind of a what would you call it? Just manipulation in the market, nothing like that. Nothing. It is an unnatural event. I'd say that an unnatural market event that was interjected with the Russia-Ukraine situation. So eliminating this from the picture, we get something in terms of just the recognition of this flat top here, where buyers do seem to be present. That's the one thing. And this flat top oftentimes will tell you that buyers are in the market to boom, take, to boom, take, respecting that flat top of resistance. So that's one thing we always look for in terms of the ascending line of support, the flat top of resistance. We just have, we have a lot of experience in this group. I have a lot of experience, so do you guys, in terms of trading ascending triangles. Really, really just profit-making machines. So I like kind of the framework of saying, maybe we should exclude this portion just for purposes of the analytics. It's just it doesn't omit the fact that it did occur, but at the same time, it's worth exploring what the chart might look like, what the real market behavior is, absent any kind of a supernatural event, or not really supernatural, but any other kind of outside influence, major kind of potentially like cataclysmic kind of event. So I definitely wanted to just at least cover that with you. Were we to get into the framework of that, on the lines, we could say we could be headed up to this 42,419, and it's just not it's not real necessarily comfortable right now trading. If you're in the trade, you do know one thing, that it just hasn't wanted to give up. I think Daryl was here last night, old VIP. He was saying he was looking for a short. He may have nailed a short or two along the way here. There have been a few breakdowns from an ascending wedge or two. We've had multiple ascending wedges. As we would look at this, it's just the one thing has been consistent is that buyers have not wanted to give up. So that's a nice dynamic that we would just continue to reinforce, that buyers are still in the market, but it's just not necessarily comfortable as you see things just carving. It's like, should I take? That's why guys, the hitting your target is the most important thing. It's the most important thing you could possibly do. I just got to tell you, getting that lower entry and maximizing that lower entry, not just, well, okay, it looks like it's going that direction, now let's jump in, let's hit the button and jump in. I'm talking about hitting your targets. The old axiom goes, buy at support, sell at resistance, trade your patterns, and hit your targets. These are targets. When you hit your targets, you are prepared in advance. You have more leeway. If we would look at kind of the trader right now that is in the position of having hit his target at the 50%, he's comfortable letting this push. He's comfortable just watching it. If someone, let's say if you're trying to get a position in here, if we were looking at the 4 hourly here on the candles, you could say, well, maybe we have a bull pennant here, then maybe we have it's almost a flag feature on top of a bull pennant. It's just a lot of like corrugated, really aberrant pricing behavior, just carving on the way up. A little bit difficult to deal with. We are heading up in kind of a bearish fashion. We noted that last night, like just an upward sloping. You can say, well, how is price carving to the upside just bearish? Technically speaking, when price carves to the upside, buyers will at some point run out of momentum. They'll run out of dollars to continue to just push and trade and push and trade and push and trade. That ultimately will want to break down to some degree. Okay, any upward sloping channel is by definition bearish. So with that in mind, it doesn't mean that it can't be part of a different formulation in terms of another pattern, right? So that's why I had brought up this specific potential for us to kind of recognize, just read through the script a little bit in terms of how and what has affected the market the last. It's been a very turbulent overall this last week's been very turbulent. So to the extent that we would want to just kind of wrap our mind around something familiar here and just say that yes, this could be definitely an ascending triangle, something along those lines, to just kind of exclude this for a moment. And we would assume let's say this, we would not assume that we wouldn't have another event like this. Stop losses are crucial. If you guys don't know how to implement a stop loss, if you're still trading on crypto.com, nothing wrong with that per se, but we would just encourage you to get involved with a more sophisticated exchange, okay? One that you can set your limit orders on, one that you can really express yourself in terms of hitting your target, setting a price target, setting up your orders, waiting for the market to come down to your specific target instead of hunting around for the right time to just hit the button and just jump involved. A lot of times that's a little bit counterintuitive, and the traders don't have that much success in terms of just always clicking the button and then you're involved in the trade. We want you guys to be involved at your price targets. It takes more time. The more aggressive you guys are in terms of the expectations of your account, it's like, well, you need to make 20% today. That puts some undue pressure on you. I'm just going to tell you guys that. So a little bit better frame of I'd say a mind frame to be in. It's just saying you've got the year, right? You've got this day, yes, this week, certainly this month, absolutely, and then you got this quarter and then this year. So pay attention to the monthly, kind of your monthly, tabulation. Where are you? Were you able to hit a target last month? Are you able to hit a solid target this month? If you got 2 targets in this month, hey, that's not bad. As we would look at the overall time frame here, just give yourself some leeway, guys. It's 35 days across, 35 days since 2 hits along this level, the 50% retracement. That's just crucial that you guys give yourselves a little bit of leeway. Don't always, and we're real aggressive here. You guys know that we're very, very aggressive in terms of hunting down the next price action coin, going after that next target, trying to book those trades every single day. That's just what we do. But there's nothing wrong with expressing a little bit of patience in the market. I think you guys will agree with that. Just being a little bit more patient, and sometimes that that long stroll kind of mentality in the market, that long-term approach in the market will definitely, I'd say, will bode well over time. It just has for those who have engaged in it. You guys can ask Angel. He's probably, I hope he's feeling better, but I don't know. He wasn't feeling great last night again. So I just say that he hasn't been feeling top shelf thus far. So if you guys would let me know in the chats, and if you guys would, let's see, if you guys wouldn't mind slamming the like button, I would appreciate that. I don't think that YouTube always shows me who all is here or whether or not you have hit that like button, but I would appreciate you guys doing that. Yeah, if you have any questions as well, I know it's Friday night and we don't always like to do too much in terms of the weekend. We will maybe the what I like to do is on, like, an afternoon or something like that. We'll get together for an afternoon and we'll go through and kind of see what what people are doing, or if you have extra time or you're just kind of relaxed. Everyone's hanging around the house and everyone's taking a nap. Let's stream for 4 or 5 hours. We've gone through like hundreds of coins before. We decided to do that, and we had some success on that in 2021. Finding like AXS on one Saturday. Well, I'll just go through like 300 to 400 coins, and then bam, finding AXS for the group. That took off its first bull flag. That was really nice. Looking at, let's just look at this in terms of, now we have just been increasingly tempted to go into the next rising wedge. You guys understand rising wedge constriction, right? Essentially a triangulation that's rising. Apex amidst a constricting line of support and resistance. That's a bearish pattern. The ones that we have had here have broken down, recovered, and we have just, it looks like we put ourselves in just a solid framework of a channel line formation, upward channel line formation, that is just, it looks like it's very well predisposed to breaking through this critical line of, I'd say, a cross trend line of resistance. So that is the nature of what is going on right now in terms of the pricing. We have the prior resistance. Can we conquer it again and get up and above? That's just the, now if you hit your target on the low side, you're not as quick to just, you're not in as big of, there's no panic to get out of your trade. That's the beautiful thing about hitting your targets, guys. So if you didn't hit this last one, just be patient, just hang out. Let's spend a little more time. Let's get to another target, or let's get to another clear pattern where you can say that, yes, this is a clear pattern to trade. It's a clear, I'd say a clear line of support, line of resistance, or a target, right? That target is kind of the crucial king of them all. This is a line of resistance to the extent that there are shorts in play. I'll tell you that there are. Guys, this is a recognized line of resistance, so people are selling at resistance. It is hung up there right now. People are selling at resistance. There are shorts in play. To the extent that those get stopped out, as they would have in this area here, and frustrated and pushed around and taken essentially the money off the shelf or off the table from those involved in the shorts before they were able to achieve this here. Yeah, it took some cash from anyone who decided to short in this area. I just tell you that. So be expected for it to not play necessarily nice guy with you in terms of Mr. Nice Guy. It's not, it's the market. It's going to push you around a little bit. Always be prepared to double and triple down. Cover your position. I'll say that. If you're not just, it's always nice if you haven't booked a real strong trade in a while and you're just kind of, you're in flux, you're kind of in the middle of things, just enter a light trade. That's what I recommend people do. Just enter a real light trade. Get used to the price action again, right? Without too much on the map. Just go ahead and put in a light trade, whether it's a long or short position. Start to watch that price action. You'll find with even a light position, a lot of guys here go very heavily in terms of the market, but just understand that it is that dynamic of getting you involved in the price action, of watching the price and allowing yourself to take a position, see if it goes in your favor or if it does move against you. If it moves against you, there's nothing wrong with going ahead and having. And let me see, I think I have a comment in here. Let me see what's going on. But there's nothing wrong with having a position and being able to double or triple down into that position. All right, and I really recommend that people who are having a difficult time, Craig in the house. What's going on, Craig? Nice to see you. Boom, VIP. Nice to see you, Craig. Very, very nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I know it's a Friday night. Appreciate you being here for just a bit. We may not stream too awful long, but yeah, Craig was in the back. He's a new VIP and wanted to see a chart. There was a nice chart on Cardano, just a nice chart on Cardano. Nice to see all that work. Let me just go ahead and put this in. Very nice technicals, Craig. I'm very impressed. There we go. I wanted to get that in the stream, just in the chat here below. He's obviously working on charts. He threw up kind of a variation of an ascending triangle on the back on Cardano, and that was nice to see. Very, very nice to see. And Cardano having a little bit of a move since you posted that, and that's just that's great. That's nice to see that. It's that was a nice chart, brother. Nice to see it. Just looking at the chart now, a lot of these altcoins right now are going through this dynamic where, and Bitcoin's kind of done this as well, where we have this line of resistance that is floating like along. It's just definitely like pushing along. Not notable. It's broken out 1, 2, 3 times with a fake out. So it's a little bit, the buyers are probably a little bit cautious, like on ADA, for instance. It's we had a line of resistance. Let's just look at this, because a lot of the coins are going through resistance. Okay, in terms of a secondary trend line that was established, another resistance breakthrough, bam, and then both of those just decided to capitulate. So it's gotten the buyers accustomed to getting burned a little bit, okay, and then it's broken out again. So what I would say on something like this and on your other altcoins, just pay attention to your specific moving averages. You'll see that Cardano has just jumped up on top of its specific 200 moving average on the hourly. Okay, that's above the 100 moving average in orange. That's the purple. Okay, you see a few different times that we've been able to get up and above that to ride those as support. That's going to be the key distinguishing factor as you guys trade, is looking at how those are treated. I think the 1 hourly on Cardano is a very good place to look. Okay, that's a very good thing to look at. Luna, we have to cover Luna. Luna's done really well. Let's just cover that real briefly. And yeah, Luna just hopped up and out of a bull flag formation. Very nicely done. It was hanging around its 50% retracement for about a month, not doing too much. So it's due in terms of price action. And they had some concerns with Anchor Protocol as well. I think they got those solved. We were hoping so. But yeah, about a 50% move for Luna. So very nice. I think Sheeb outdid it. Gala outdid it. Quite a few coins outdid it. But to the extent that it's up and rolling, we note that. And just have a few lines here I was just experimenting with to see what else could it be that that it has broken out of. That's a nice dynamic here that we might look at in terms of just a basic triangulation. I have a few different drawings on this and provided a chart to some friends, etc., VIP in the back and whatnot. So Luna with a 50% move after being a little bit still for a while, right? It trades on 3L. Not sure the additionals, maybe a 5L from time to time, depending upon which exchange you are on. But that's a nice move. It's a decent move. Particularly the timing of it's nice after some of the other coins did well. If you booked some other coins that went up, let's say 50 or 80 or 120%, it's nice to dig back in and then schedule that cash forward into something, take those profits and schedule it into something like Luna. To the extent that you've done that, that is alpha. I would tell you guys without a doubt. We'll just look at Gala real quickly. Gala was a coin that definitely produced. As we would look at Gala, just the time frame here, it shot up 150%. So people who were trading Gala were very, very impressed with that 100 and let's say 130 to 150%, depending upon where you hit it. We'll just say 100 to 125. Let's say that to be conservative, but it's over that. But as we would look at that, just a nice move to the upside, has trajected back quite a bit, and just huge, colossal move. So some coins really produced in the beginning. Looks like we may have another wave of additional coins kind of on the back burner, kind of like Luna, that really sat still for a while. I mean, Luna just sat there a little bit below, I believe it's 50% retracement, but it went for about 35%, right? Nothing really to write home about. I mean, that's just not that's not really impressive in terms of the overall market. That didn't even. I'm not even sure that didn't beat Bitcoin. If anything, it about tied it. But it's nice to see Luna up and out, acting like an altcoin again. That's nice when it slow threads like this. It just gets a little, I don't know. It has institutional levels of interest, and we just would prefer to continue to act like an altcoin. So that's what we'll say about Luna. Let's see what else we have. Gala, Luna, Sand. Dot has picked up relatively well. These are multiple targets that I've provided to Angel. Hope you're doing well, Angel. I trust that you are there in the background. If you're not feeling well again tonight, I am sorry about that. I'm sorry that you're not feeling well again tonight. That's just, it's been all week. I'm sorry to hear that you're not doing well or not feeling well. In terms of that cold or the bug that's going around, just winter bug, I'm sorry that you have it. Genuinely, I'm sorry that you have it. Please pay attention to the 4 hourly because you're on the 100 moving average on the 4 hourly. Okay, after making about 24% from my bottom line target. Okay, after making that 24% of the bottom line target, you are right now at the first hurdle, which is the 100 moving average on the 4 hourly. The next level up will be $19.44 as of this point right now on DOT, so 25% move, not gangbuster, but it's a good move. This blue zone was the previous move on up through that level, 42% from my target, prior target, up to that level of the, I'd say, of that red line indicated. Red line was thrown up on Bitcoin, was thrown up on DOT, and they both did serve quite well to anyone who paid attention to the red line. So always trying to assist you guys in terms of profiting. I want you guys to be the best traders. I want you to beat the market. In terms of that, that's just alpha. That's what I teach. I teach that to traders, but I cannot, in terms of training, etc. That's how I started in the crypto space, was training traders. And with that said, I just cannot hit the button for you guys. And it's just one of those deals. Like, you got to be there. You got to implement the framework, and just try and stay as unemotional as you can. That's the one thing I'd say. Just try and stay as unemotional and as patient as you can. If you're ready to double and triple down, it becomes a lot easier. If you have that backup reserve cash on hand, it's a lot easier. If you manage your expectations in terms of both the time and the amount in terms of your overall, let's say your overall expectations, that's where things get really good. So let's look at, what else can we look at? Maybe Sheeb. How has Sheeb done? I wish Angel were in the chat. If he were in the chat, it'd be great to chat with him and go through Sheeb, Trillion Sheeb. What is the verdict on Trillion Sheeb? Is it writing, or was this a circumstance with the 786 I had suggested? I thought it would be great doubling down from $14 million position to $28 million position. That 82% to the upside on $14 million would have been nice, but on $28 million, that's an incredible way to start your 2022. Anyone who traded along with that recommendation that I gave to Angel, I congratulate you. We shout out to Angel, our number one contributor. We appreciate when you do show up. That lets us know that you're doing well, brother, in terms of your trades, and that's a good thing. So to the extent that $28 million worked out with the 82%, we'd like to know, did you book? Have you re-entered the market? It is going through the same kind of generalized notion that Gala is that even we just looked at ADA Cardano, just the general push of this specified line, a little bit different on Sheeb. We can look at this in terms of, we do have this, which again, if we use Bitcoin as kind of the precursor here, we do have that expanding wedge. It's a bearish feature. Now, to the extent that that we're going to beat it with a key level of Fibonacci like we just did on Bitcoin, that'd be phenomenal, right? We're going to want to watch that Bitcoin dominance quite a bit. That 82% was if you talk about that, if we would discuss that, a 40% drop was the precursor to a 40% drop by Sheeb. If we go to the candle wicks, it's more than that, but that was a pretty hefty slam down in the market. Let's look at this. Yeah, a little over 40% in terms of the value opportunity provided to people who are trading Sheeb. It is one thing to hold it. It's another thing to trade it. We trade. That's what we do, guys. We're not into, I tell everybody that holding group, whatever they do, they were next door. They went out of business, guys. That's not this group. So in terms of that, Angel's been trading Bitcoin since $7.79. So he knows quite well. We all know quite well. We appreciate that about him and all of you. One was something that I brought to the attention of the VIP, just because we were at that golden pocket. It did not hold at the golden pocket. That's the yellow line that you see. We're right now just over and above it. I think a lot of people probably went long at the golden pocket. What do you guys think? Those of you who trade quite a bit in terms of It's just textbook in terms of Harmony One. It's just what it's going to do. We have the macro ground level all the way to the all-time high, right? Ground zero to the all-time high. Just leave it to Harmony One. If there's a nice pickup at the golden pocket, they know that you're going to get involved with leverage, etc. Especially the Harmony One crew, down 27%, pushed to 27% to the downside before it decided to traject back up through the golden pocket. Would love to get that 786 back in the scope, and it would just be nice to see some of this value from 2021 retracement reconfigured back into the mix here for some of these altcoins. Some people would say, well, no, we don't want it to go down. We want that value, guys. We're willing to take that value on the off the table at any point in time. That's what we are here for. That's why we trade. So in terms of I looked at some interesting stuff, guys. I looked back at the price action of Bitcoin back in 2013 or whatnot. 2013, it went down to 1 cent. 1 cent. It went up 1,000,000% in a week. It went from and I could do those I can show you guys, but I got that to the VIP in the back. I'm like, it went down to 1 cent. 1 week it went down to 1 cent. Bitcoin did in 2013. And I'm like, wouldn't that have been nice just to pick some up at 1 cent? Someone out there picked it up at 1 cent. I'm wondering if they what they did with it. Did they cash out? It went up 1,000,000% by the next week. It just used to have incredible price action like that. So, but it has better liquidity now. There are a lot of advantages to where it is now, and utility, etc. As opposed to then just we trade on Gate. We like Gate quite a bit. Gate Exchange. If you guys do not trade on Gate, go to the profile on the Kingdom, and right here you'll see. Okay, after it says, this is the handle of eKingdom, you'll see on top left, former financial analyst, former hedge fund, and former presidential advisor. Okay, so in terms of the Gate Exchange, it says Gate right here. That Gate Exchange right there, that link will get you to Gate. Those figures for Bitcoin are on Gate. Gate is actually listed, has listed Bitcoin for, I think, almost longer than any other exchange out there, any other primary exchange, definitely. They've had since like 2013. They have listed and traded traded Bitcoin, on Gate. Very interesting. There's a reason why I'm plugged into Gate, and those of you not trading on it, I think are just maybe there's a good change in store for you in 2022. I encourage you very much to stick to the U.S. permitted exchanges. I know a lot of you do. That's kind of a must around here. I don't encourage anyone to go trade on some kind of off exchange that may compromise your security or anything else in terms of that. So on Sand, I do have Sand up right now. Just to look at where we're at, we have failed to hold this 200 moving average. Okay, we failed to hold that 200 moving average, and we can go to the Fibonacci to see where we're at. Just real quiet. What a great project, Sand. Rode that on the way up. Great price action to the upside. Let's just get in here and draw to the zero right here. Boom, boom, boom. And as we look at this, Sand is an interesting pickup right now, guys. It's a secondary hit. Let me go ahead and remove these. It's a secondary hit along this specific golden pocket, and I had this up for a minute, but I will get into talking about it. Glad that you waited. Hit the like button if you just scrolled in here. That would be great. But yeah, Sand is right now demonstrating another hit along the golden pocket. If you guys are looking for an interesting entry, I'd say that I could get up there quickly. That could be very interesting for Sand if it wants to hold this level. Look, that would be just to hit up into this level here would be about a 20 to 23% hit for Sand if it could just recapture and test this 100 again. It failed to hold that up and above previously, but just a little bit of a hit on Sand here could be an interesting move. I'm glad I brought this up. If you guys are paying attention, it could be nice. You're currently already up 6% on that golden pocket hit, but you're just getting going with a potential double bottom here. That's an interesting move. Not sure you guys are paying attention to that. Now, the overall market may want to push that further down, like we just saw Harmony One played a little bit below. You'll always need to be prepared to double and triple down at lower levels, without a doubt. That's the VIP way to be. You guys know that. Just compounding down at lower levels, always having that extra capital, right, extra capital available for lower levels. You have to in this game. That, or you have to have a good amount of, what would you say, just resource capital on a weekly or monthly basis to allow yourself to trade, guys. You're going to find yourself locked up in trades. You're going to find yourself frustrated because you want your money to move more quickly and bouncing between trades. Just that heavy reserve capital will give you the right kind of, I'd say, demeanor and tenor to your trade game. So Sand looking very, very interesting at that secondary hit on the golden pocket. The primary hit was, we look at that, about 63%. Very nice move. Yeah, impressive. I like the project. Most people do. Reminds a bit of, what is the, I looked at this the other day on TV. I saw an advertisement for Roblox, R-O-B-O-L-O, R-O-L, what was it, Roblox? I have no idea, guys. Roblox, or I don't know what it is, but it has the same flavor as Roblox, whatever that is. And I thought that's a very, it's a very popularized and valuable. I'm just not into that technology. Okay, so I don't study that as you might think about being really into that. I'm not into that. So I'll take a look at a lot of different investment projects. That's just not my flavor. But Sandbox is a little bit more my style. It's got Snoop Dogg. It's got some different things going on. So it's a little bit more VIP in terms of the entirety of how it's expressing itself. So I'm happy to see this recovery in Atom right now. Very nicely done on Atom. Let me go ahead and just remove this. I had brought Atom to VIP and to you guys, I think, one night talking about, in this zone here before this hit here. I had those scheduled up because multiple hits here. Just great price action continually on Atom. And it's nice to see Atom potentially try and hold this ascending line of support. If it can, guys, this could be a heck of a move. I'm just going to say if, and this will express itself whether or not it can or not. You don't have to jump on the wagon, but if you keep this on your watch list, I definitely would recommend looking at this chart for a while, because Cosmos here, Atom, could, because of the flat top resistance, be expressing a very nice ascending triangle. Would love to see that, okay? Would love to see Atom do well. We really like the project here, and I'm a big fan of it. It's one of those, as Angel might say, trifecta coins. So we've pushed a little bit in terms of the candle work here to just barely up and above from the preceding action. We would need to have that ascending line of support. It's just crucial in terms of meeting the definition of the ascending triangle. As we would look at this, we would expect a move to the upside. That's just what we would expect if we can complete another hit up and through. And this may develop for a while, just so you know. It could also jump out a little bit earlier, but within the, I'd say the estimation of $74 Atom from the current price of $28. If we could achieve that, that'd be a fantastic return. That'd be about 167%. There's a lot to go in between here and there, particularly on leverage. If you're on leverage, be careful, guys. You know that you can get thrown around quite a bit in terms of them wiping out your leverage position. So be careful. Spot is preferable at times. So let's talk about, you guys understand the risks as I talk about leverage, etc. SHIB, Ample, let's see, USDT, NASDAQ. Nice recovery back onto the fan framework prior on NASDAQ. I just like to cover this just a little bit onto the prior level of support to potential resistance. Looks like we have a nice inverse head and shoulders. Okay, nice inverse head and shoulders. Let's go ahead and do this on the NASDAQ so we can look at the correlatives. All right, the correlatives between crypto and the NASDAQ market. We'll go into the candlewick, see if this expresses itself any better. We are seeing here, and it looks like we're parked in a bull flag that is attempting to traject to the upside on the candlework on the hourly. But we're seeing this same, I'd say the same feature and framework of an inverse head and shoulders in the NASDAQ, just the same pattern that we have right now on Bitcoin, right? This abbreviated right shoulder, definitely a big deal there. Just the same pattern framework. You guys see that on the NASDAQ. That's the NASDAQ right here, guys, trying to reverse a big pour down. This was a big short opportunity. And it was interesting. I sent, I won't say everything I sent, but sell it all. I'll say that in terms of the shorts, sell it all. I'll just tell you, whatever position you had, the end conclusion that I had communicated with somebody was send them the video for sell it all. Whatever your shorts were towards the bottom, sell it all. So that's about where I left at with I think it was Angel. I sent him something with the video saying sell it all. So in terms of your shorts, so that was cool. In terms of looking at something like VeChain, way down low, 86, not really a popularized coin anymore. It's just kind of been taken over by the advancement in the market. But nonetheless, at the 86, right, sushi is another one, like sushi swaps. Like, how low can it go? You're getting a lot of value on something like sushi. I know a lot of you guys are holding maybe coins like this, just waiting. Nothing wrong with deciding to maybe double down into something, putting a little extra cash while they're really riding low, expecting at some point you might see a secondary wave formation out in this area. So, but no immediate expectations. It is at that 86% retracement, which is not uncommon in the crypto space. But we'll just say something like sushi has been, very just attacked by the competition. The DEX platforms, everything else, hot swapping to from the Harmony protocol to Polygon. It's just sushi's still relevant, but it's just it is what it is in terms of the levels of the levels of competition that have come into the foray. There's a lot more in terms of the development. I just say in terms of the development of the space, it seems like sushi may have fallen back a bit. So ETH, I have this kind of wedge formation here, and had this here before we really picked up at this level. Nice to see this pick up here. I'd like to see it continue to express some sort of a triangulation here that the market could take and want to go higher with. My anticipation is that the decision on up or down will rest again with the popularized 100 and 200 moving average. Orange 100, purple 200. That's on the daily. So keep an eye out on those daily averages and see how they're respected by the traders in the market. Okay, potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has already been complete. The ABC would need to occur. It doesn't mean the wave is over. It doesn't mean the bull run is over, but those are the diagnostics in terms of the wave formation that would be critical and would be relevant. Now, Rose is an interesting chart right now. A lot of price action, ton of price action. These moves started off being 231%. Let's see, 150%. Then to recently another 118%. So bam, bam, bam. Lots of price action for Rose. It is currently on its golden pocket. All right, so Sand and Rose are on the golden pocket. The one thing we have for Rose is that it's the first hit along its golden pocket. That's on the wicks from ground zero to the all-time high. Very important to understand, guys, that's an important first hit on the golden pocket. 78.6 is in play. Also, the 86% is in play as well. Make sure that you are not overexposed to any higher price, and do understand that we've broken out of that primary channel framework, which on the candle wicks is very clearly expressed, very reminiscent of the specific Matic chart. Okay, if you look at Matic chart, we're down and out of Matic as well in terms of that primary formation. Let me look at the Matic chart, since I do mention that real quickly. Let's just dig into Matic and take a look. Yeah, you'll see why I brought it up on the tail end of Rose. Right, there we go. You guys understand during this feature here, I did tell you guys this is not likely to hold. Super trend. Everybody got really excited. Super trend means it's going up. No, super trend means it's met its threshold. I said multiple times, and you can expect not only a fall back down into here, but technically a fall beyond this primary level of support. I directed you guys to AXS, which had a great trend, a great phenomenal run, and did exactly what Matic has done. So very similar to I'd say to Rose in terms of the fact that it's fallen out. But we let's see. So Sand is on second hit, Rose is on first hit, and golden pockets. And we'll just draw up to let's see here, to Matic, and look at the fact, and I provided some additional pricing targets for VIP. But as we would look at this, yeah, we're just pushing that 50% retracement, okay, 50, right here in terms of that. I'm just pushing beyond that a little bit, so definitely beyond, just like about Rose was that we just looked at. Let's go into AXS. Has been a little bit difficult. What I noted, a flat bottom potential that could be in play, a little bit off fib right now. We have a variation on the charts. Interesting pricing by Binance to give the traders is all I'll say. Very interesting pricing to say the least. And in terms of this specified target, we'd love to get it down to the 786, or that 86% retracement, and we're just kind of like in I'd say at a preceding hit in this level, okay, a preceding, and let me undo that, but a preceding pivot level of support has caught again. So it's trying to hold that specified level. The preceding, let's just talk about the foregoing hit at this area was 40%. So kind of mirrored in line with sand, as you guys will look at sand on the double hit here. Very similar AXS and sand that we just looked at sand. So XRP had a great run up, fell out of a bull pattern after a hit down into a lower level fib. It was nice to see XRP do something. It's like after all of this, just a treacherous year, really, of a lot of expectations, SEC involvement, etc. Just nice to see it do something well to get up and get out. Essentially, we see that, that formulaic secondary hit right here on the preceding level of support, like we just saw at AXS. You guys see that, right? That preceding level of support, bam, bam, was another level of pickup as well. So not necessarily on a fib, but a preceding level of support that picked up from this preceding interval. So always include that with your price targets. Hit your targets. One of the just popularized notions is that in the market, it's one of the concepts or the strategies is that you will or that price will pick up at the same previous support. So we look forward to you guys incorporating that into your trade game. So we pushed that bull pennant, okay, just a nice run up with a symmetrical consolidation. We pushed that into a really I'd say extended flag formation. So that's quite an extended flag. It's really got a lot of a drop to it. It really was, I guess, it would be ideally suited to be, let's just go into the hourly. Something along these lines would be a little bit more ideal in terms of what we might be looking at. It's a little bit beyond frustrated. We really dropped down and below what we should have, below the threshold of what's comfortable for traders. But yeah, XRP finally got up and really ran with about a 60 plus, on the candle wicks, about a 60 to 65% move. So that was a nice move to see on XRP. Won't go through Link, won't go through all of these. Link had a good start to the year, etc. Elon is down a bit. Floki is down a bit, quite a bit. The lower some of these go, the more interesting they become to me. To tell you the truth, I think there's going to be a lot of value in some of these projects that will come back and want to manifest or regroup into the market. I just think there's going to be a lot of value in the market in 2022 and there beyond in terms of getting those lower prices, those lower features in terms of those entries. So we do have that upward sloping channel here. Appreciate you guys being here. I'd say that we could go through more altcoins for the residual of the night. What I'll probably do, I'd like to schedule up a stream where we can go through some solid technicals on and some solid charts. I have two frameworks. I have one kind of my ETF coins. Then I have another list of Binance coins here. I'd like to update my list of Binance coins and include it and cross-reference it with all the list of crypto.com and all of the list of the gate coins. It'll probably be about 500 coins or so. I'd thereafter like to do kind of like a long, just hardcore session to really get things into play and to go through all of the coins. That's what I'd normally do at least once. I mean, once a quarter, I'd like to do something like that. It shows us the newer coins. I wind up digging through so much. I find what the market's really about and some of the new projects in the market that other people aren't paying attention to just continually. And I'll find a few charts that just look dynamic. So I'd like to try and schedule that up on the map within the next month or so. And that'll be an exclusive stream for VIP badge holders. That'll be something that I'll literally provide a link directly for that stream to the badge holders. And I will give that link to them so that we can go through that. They can review it to the extent they want to. And that will be definitely a perk of being a VIP badge holder. So we will do that, and look forward to having some of the things that went on in 2021, which were great. Like conference calls were nice. We got involved in those in terms of like investing, in terms of what people are really focused on, what they're struggling with, or what they're doing well with in terms of their trade. I'd say their trade game. We did a lot of that in 2021, and we'll probably go back to doing that in 2022 so that I can get to know some of you, so that we can develop that relationship a little bit and build VIP the way it needs to be. So let's continue to watch the price action here with the understanding we're up against a level of resistance that has been respected multiple times. It has operated as cross-trend resistance, and on the tail end of this specific hit along the I just say the target hit. I'm so glad we were streaming during that time, because that speaks volumes, guys. If you're just live during the opportunity to enter, it's like, and if you didn't get it, guys, maybe you get the next one, right? The market's like that. It'll give you another chance, right? And not necessarily the next one here. It may be a different pattern formation or something, but just, stay alert and stay relaxed. I would say that, stay alert and stay relaxed in the market. Don't, never getting like over aggressive. Don't get upset or angry if the market's not treating you well. If it's treated you badly on a few trades, hey, it's the market. You guys know that. And if you've been around a while, you definitely know that. So what I say is, I hope you guys have a good Friday night. It's about 10:30 Central Standard Time, and just excited to see this specific level of resistance in play. I have not given up on the bulls to get up and over this level in terms of the projected the trajectory. We have been doing this, and by this, just formulating this upper channel for a day and 9 hours thus far. So, to just call it and say, well, over the next 2 hours, we're going to slam into this. We're going to get this taken care of. We're going to give it some time. That's what we're going to do. We're going to relax. We're going to have a good Friday night. It's VIP. You guys have earned it. That's just the VIP way to be. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. I'll be in the back. I'll shoot you guys some charts. I'll come up with some different TA that I want you guys to necessarily just have before the rest of the group. And all you base campers, I appreciate you so much. If you're not a member thus far, make sure you join. It's 2022. We want you at the top of your trade game. Guys, it's London with Crypto Kingdom and Bitcoin Spike. Very excited to bring you the top TA in the industry, and we'll continue to do that while we provide you with the number one platform in conjunction with just our king of the channel, Angel Matos at the top, $58,000+ contributor. And Angel, we so appreciate you, brother. And I just hope you're feeling terrific. I hope you're really feeling well, and much prayers for you going up. Hope you're just feeling well. We'll talk to you all soon. You guys hit me up in the back in the DM if you have any questions, particular questions. I'll be happy to answer them for the VIP. And otherwise, guys, just take care of yourself. We'll see you on Saturday.